Okay, well, part of that is, of course, mandatory testing, and, of course, then they're going to, diagnose you that, well, you've got this, so now you have to take the medications or you have to take the flu shot or whatever because, we have to prevent this pandemic from becoming to where it kills everybody. And, of course, the goal is to kill everybody. So, that, I tell you, this whole thing with the socialized medicine just scares me to death. The other thing I just wanted to mention was today I happened to tune into Sean Hannity's show just for a little bit, holding my nose, of course. But here he was talking about how David Letterman had this thing, attacking Sarah Palin's family. And okay, yeah, the thing is that, okay, yeah, what Saturday Night Live did was despicable, implying that her husband's having sex with their daughter. And, Letterman did the same thing. But you know what? These stupid people, and they got to be doing this on purpose, they are just causing people to be so distracted from the bigger issues. I could really, in the bigger picture, care less about some so-called comedian on late-night talk attacking Sarah Palin or whoever, man.
I could care less almost about Sarah Palin. I mean, she's almost irrelevant at this point. They threw her into the spotlight for a rigged election that they knew they were going to lose, and now she's in the backdrop as some kind of pop culture icon because she was a beauty queen turned governor of Alaska. I mean, her relevance is in Alaska, and that's about it.
And the thing is about her, the hypocrisy on her part is, here they attack her on Saturday Night Live, James Franco, and then she goes and does a comedy sketch on the show.
Oh, it's also rigged. They had, how many times did they have Barack Obama on that show? You didn't see any presidents on the Saturday Night Live before they were pushing a presidential candidate. I thank you for the call, Stephen. Let's go to Brian in Florida. Brian, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
Hey, Jason, I need you to put me back to your guy who screens the calls, because I really didn't want to talk online, but I really got something important to talk to you about. I'm the guy with the web domains that talked to you last night. And
okay.
If you can put me back to that guy, he put me through the hold before I could tell him what I need to talk to you about, because I wanted to send you a message.
All right, well, then hold him over. Let him know let me know what he wants. Throw it to me on the IM. Let's go to Michelle in Kansas. Michelle, you're on the line.
Hi, Jason.
How you doing?
I had a story about my son. This was 6 years ago. He was 8, and we were living in California, and the schools and the county, I mean, they bullied and forced me to put him on medications. And he was on, towards the end, I mean, I got a lot of information. I learned my rights. I didn't know them at first. But towards the end, they had him on 17 pills a day.
17 pills a day. How old was this kid at this time? 10 years old, maybe?
He would have been 9 and a half. They started at about 7. It was lithium, Depakote, Zoloft, Buspar, Wellbutrin. They said at one point he was schizophrenic. They put him on that medicine, and that made him crazy. Mm-hmm. Finally, I mean, I fought them, and it took a lot. They had social services came to my house 12 times. I should call back because there's a whole other story of this therapist that they sent out to the house who was actually Janice Hooker, who was involved in the Girl in the Box story out in Red Bluff, California.
Okay.
And some people in the county sent me a videotape of her and her husband that had taken this girl, and she was fighting me. But I mean, eventually got him off. But you have to get the information. And they told me, horrible things. He was gonna die, and he'd kill himself.
How was your son after he got it off? Was it very difficult for him to drop the drugs?
It was hard. It was hard. He went through withdrawals. He had some problems. We did it. We changed his diet, and I mean, he's doing great now. He works. I homeschool all my kids, so I have 6.
And that puts you as a target right away by CPS.
Exactly. Exactly, yeah. Oh, yeah, they threatened me with so many things. But, I mean, I stood my ground, and you kind of have to, and you have to be willing to fight. Mm-hmm. But he's doing awesome now, and he's been off, 5 years. And, I mean, of course, they jumped on the bipolar. That's what they diagnosed him with.
And people are so willing to believe, and I'm not talking about parents in general, but I'm talking about people that they're prescribing these drugs to, so willing to believe the doctor's prognosis when the previous caller said she was in the office for 5 minutes and she's bipolar. I mean, give me a break. It's quackery, and they want you on these drugs for profit and to dumb us down and to make us more docile and to make us more dependent on the system to get CPS and other government organizations into our lives. I thank you for the call, Michelle. Let's go to Matthew in California. Matthew, you're online. Yes,
Hello,
sir.
Jason. How are you?
Good.
I talked to you a couple of weeks ago about Senate Bill 435 here that was going to be doing smog laws for motorcycles.
Yes, the Harley-Davidson caller. I've actually talked about you quite a few times on the program now.
Yeah, the bill was defeated. It was defeated, I believe, because, well, I don't have to believe. It was defeated in fact because it was going to cost too much. The state is so broke. They don't have the money to afford the bureaucracy to create new smog stations and smog these bikes right now.
Well, that's actually good news.
It is great news. It was originally sponsored by the American Lung Association, which is also telling you who actually originated the law. If you really want to look into, we should all look into them. I'm sure you know all about.
Well, it shows that we can have victories, man. You know, and not everything is gloom and doom. It sucks that they try to put this legislation into place, and it also sucks that I'm getting calls from people who are working in social services in California telling me in the last 6 to 12 months that they're seeing a quadrupling in the amount of people that are applying for food stamps, Medicaid, WIC, and other programs like that. I thank you for the call, Matthew. We're going to come back. Final segment of the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas, PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com, and Facebook.com/The Infowarrior. You know, checking my Facebook in between breaks, apparently this guy was a fan, and he was trying to reserve it for me, but I'm not so sure you can switch him up, and I'll just go with the Infowarrior. It's not a big deal. Facebook.com/The Infowarrior. If you missed any of the show tonight, remember, we've got the podcast, we've got the listen live over on the corner of the Infowarrior.com. We're trying to upgrade the site. I've been updating 2 or 3 times a day. I might be going a little lighter on the weekend unless there's any big news out there that really deserves reporting. I mean, we talk about everything that's out there. We were the ones that were talking about the 72-year-old grandmother getting tased before the national media. We were the ones telling you about the MIAC report. We were the ones that break countless stories about pandemic level 6 before it actually happens. All right, let's go to Jacob in Maryland. Jacob, you're on the line.
Oh, hey, Jason, I have a question first before I go into what I was going to say.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, waiting for it, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to wait until calling next month, but I'm going to be taking a class then, so it's okay that I call now again. Is it?
What? You're losing me on all. I mean, this last segment of the Infowarrior has gone into bizarro world, my friend. What are you saying to me?
Well, I just wondering if. Sorry. Let me go on what I was saying. I just wondering if I was calling too short. Okay. My thing is, I'm taking a college class and they're making Barack Obama's book required reading for it.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering.
Well, there's plenty of brainwashing material that becomes required reading for school. It doesn't surprise me that they're making you read Barack Obama's book where he openly talks about using crystal meth and having a drinking problem.
Yeah, it's just kind of alarming to me. It's like
there's plenty more, brother, that's alarming out there. City Year is much more alarming. The fact that he's fired. He has fired the head of AmeriCorps. Remember, AmeriCorps is where they're funneling all this Give Act money. He fired the head of AmeriCorps because AmeriCorps went after Kevin Johnson, the former NBA basketball player out of the Phoenix Suns, who apparently was misappropriating some of the funds in a precursor to this City Year push. He had like the Hood Corps or something like that. And apparently he was touching young girls. At least those are the allegations. You don't go after Barack Obama's globalist minions or you get fired, especially when AmeriCorps is going to be used to really indoctrinate the young people, and not only the youth, the teenagers, the 20-somethings, but those in your lower 30s as well, the Generation X, if you will, Generation X, NY. I thank you for the call, Jacob. Folks, I really hope that you gave to the Money Bomb. You know, I'm going to give out the number one more time, 888-201-2244, 888-201-2244. At last check, it was around 275 G-Dogs. I wouldn't mind a 300,000 before the weekends, and it really will help this program, Alex's program, you know, a new studio right next to this one. If you can't see the difference between what Alex Jones was doing 12 months ago and what Alex Jones is doing today, either you were not a listener or a viewer, or you're a loser. You're a crybaby loser who can't get over somebody else's success and really taking on powers that are insurmountable. I mean, it is an uphill battle in this office and others like it in the Patriot movement, in the alternative media. You have to struggle every day for every single bit of credibility that you're given by the powers that be. And, you know, Alex Jones has been a conduit of so much good and so much positivity, not only in this movement, but in my opinion, the world. And without him, I don't know where I would be, and I don't know where we would be as a society. Just one man. We all have a great, incredible power if we're willing to delve into ourselves and expose that to the world. It's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas, prisonplanet.tv, Infowars.com.